Hey there. Today it's time for a case brief. That's right, a quick breakdown of the Tati Westbrook versus KJ and Without a Crystal Ball legal case up to the end of January 2021. What's been filed, what's going on, and what we expect next. So let's just get into it right now. Hi there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker. I'm the badass lawyer, host of The Emily Show podcast, and I am a legal commentator breaking down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories that we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I am a big fan of the cursey words, so headphones are recommended. This is where the law nerds unite. With facts, not fuckery. First, I would like to take a minute because today's case brief is brought to you by NordVPN. I talk a lot about internet security and privacy when browsing the web, and one of the things I always recommend is a VPN. So I'm very excited to be working with Nord to bring you a fantastic discount. NordVPN allows you to use the internet securely and anonymously. You have over 61 countries to choose from when picking where the VPN is located. It works on up to 6 devices, which means you can use it on home computers, iPads, phones, tablets. There are also easy plugins for Google Chrome for that extra security when browsing the web. They have super fast servers and unlimited bandwidth, which if you're streaming is a very good thing. NordVPN also keeps no logs. That's right. They don't track your shit as you are going around the internet, and they have double data encryption. Not only is that good from people trying to snoop on your data, but it's also fantastic if you don't want to see those creepy ads because you watched a video where somebody talked about a particular thing and now you're seeing ads for it. It will help with that. All you need to do is check out NordVPN with the link in this video, the link in the description box, and use code Emily D. Baker. You will get a 2-year plan with a huge discount plus 1 additional month for free. That's right. 2-year plan, huge discount, and a month for free. All you have to do is use code Emily D. Baker or use the link down in the description box or on the screen and check out NordVPN. Can't wait to hear how you like it. Let's get into this case brief. Tati Westbrook, James Westbrook, and Halo Beauty Partners LLC versus Katie Joy Paulson and Without a Crystal Ball LLC filed in the federal court in the state of Washington on October 30th, 2020. Doesn't it feel like it's been longer than that? Yep. The allegations in this case are essentially defamatory statements made by KJ in a number of YouTube videos, tweets, social media posts, and an article on pathos.com. The causes of action here, the things they're suing for are defamation, defamation per se, trade libel, as it goes to shit that was said about Halo Beauty, false light, invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, the Washington Consumer Protection Act, and civil harassment. Now, I have videos fully breaking down all of the things we're talking about, and you can go ahead and check those out if you want to know the legal behind what each of those causes of action mean, what is said to be done. A lot of the statements you've probably heard if you are familiar with this case. Career criminal and things like that are the alleged statements made. Then, on November 4th, 2020, the plaintiffs, Tati Westbrook, James Westbrook, Halo Beauty, filed a motion to preserve evidence. On this channel, we call it a motion to not delete your shit. That motion alleges that between the filing of the complaint on October 30th and November 4th, shit got deleted. That's not supposed to happen. So that motion was filed very, very early on and contained one declaration by Michael Saltz, attorney for plaintiff, who we call Saltsy. Following the motion to preserve evidence, defense counsel appeared on the case for the first time on November 11th, 2020, saying that they were hired to represent KJ Paulson and Without a Crystal Ball LLC. That's Michael Brown. Yes, both the lead attorneys on this case are named Michael, which is why we call them Saltsy and Brown. On December 2nd, the defense, KJ's side, filed a motion to dismiss, and the motion to dismiss garnered a lot of interest here on the internet. That also include a declaration from Brown and a declaration from KJ. This document is essentially asking that the case be dismissed because they are saying that the court in Washington doesn't have jurisdiction or authority over the case. Hey, you're not the boss of me here in Washington. This case should be filed somewhere else. But it also brought to us this summary of the defense position of this case, saying that Tati deliberately reignited bi-sister controversy when she returned to YouTube in June 2020 to falsely blame two of her other rivals, the prominent social media personalities Jeffree Star, spelled by defense throughout this case with 2 R's, but I digress, and Shane Dawson, for coercing her into making the earlier defamatory accusations against James Charles. She alleged that Starr and Dawson engaged in this coercion as part of their far-flung murderous conspiracy to clear the way for them to promote beauty and health supplements that would compete with Tati and Halo Beauty. So, the defense coming in hot with a far-flung murderous conspiracy, and this case continues to have colorful pleadings throughout. On December 14th, the parties agreed, they stipulated that shit should not be deleted, and the court signed the order the next day on December 15th. Just as a note, there is an obligation in civil suits that you preserve evidence once you are on notice. But in this case, a court order was also sought and issued. On December 23rd, the plaintiffs filed the opposition to the motion to dismiss. Again, the motion to dismiss saying generally there's no jurisdiction here. That included declarations from Tati Westbrook, James Westbrook, Kim Fulmer, Macy Storm, and Hope Walker. The Fulmer Declaration is the one that received quite a lot of attention up on the interwebs because it included information about people who were subscribers or promoters of KJ's channel, such as a woman named Lorianne. It alleges that Lorianne was a ride or die for KJ's channel. The other declarations talk about the fact that they were supporters of KJ from the state of Washington, again, going to plaintiff's position that Washington is the proper place for this case and that KJ has enough contacts as a personality on YouTube and through her statements and actions that there is, in fact, jurisdiction in Washington. Those declarations garnered quite a lot of interest, one being from a former moderator of KJ's channel. On December 23rd, the plaintiffs also filed an opposition to the defense request for judicial notice that was contained within their motion to dismiss. That I broke down quite thoroughly and went link by link through the videos that were included in it, including Trisha Paytas's Tati is Dumb as Hell video, including Shane Dawson's reaction to Tati Westbrook's Breaking My Silence video, including a PewDiePie video, and others. When the plaintiffs opposed to that inclusion of, all the YouTube video opinions, they included one of our favorite lines on this channel in their opposition to the defense request for judicial notice, stating that the evidence put forth by defendant, quote, "The videos appear to contain nothing more than a motley group of gossips attempting to build a monument to the gods of speculation." As I said, the filings have gotten sassier and sassier as this case continues. On November 4th, 2020, there was a Precipe filed by the plaintiffs to support their opposition to the motion to dismiss. A precipe is a motion for more shit. It's like, but wait, Your Honor, there's more. There's more. Let us tell you about, but wait, there's more. The precipe included a declaration from Saltsy, this is his second in the case, and talked all about a December 29th video that KJ published on her channel, wherein Lorianne, who was mentioned in the Kim Fulmer declaration, was super chatting the channel. It then came to light, according to Saltsy in his declaration, that Lorianne had been a channel supporter and member, saying, hey, now we believe there are paying members of this channel in the state of Washington, and we think, plaintiffs, that that's enough to show the court that there is, in fact, proper jurisdiction in Washington. It also included screenshots and receipts, all of the receipts. Also on November 4th, 2021, there was a joint status report and discovery plan filed. Also on November 4th, 2021, there was a joint status report and discovery plan filed by the two parties together. The attorneys agreed at that time that they would not begin discovery in the case. Discovery means the uncovering of information from both sides, answering questions, getting ready to go into depositions and things like that, until the issue of jurisdiction was resolved by the court, except in one circumstance, and that was a subpoena for the Twitter account of Lorianne. Now, the reason this came up in context is because after the December 23rd filing, Lorianne deleted her Twitter account or privated it. The Twitter account disappeared, and there was more stuff going on social media. If you look at videos during that time, you'll see all the context that was happening right around Christmas Eve in regard to this case. Just 2 days later, on January 6th, 2021, the defense filed a reply to the plaintiff's opposition to the motion to dismiss, including another declaration by KJ. And in this declaration, it said, yes, even though my last declaration said I had no subscribers or viewers in Washington, I do have some subscribers and viewers in Washington. Because again, these motions are all going to, if there's jurisdiction in the state of Washington. It also included a key component that sets up what happens next. And there is a line within that declaration talking about Lorianne saying, quote, I have had very limited interactions with Ms. Barnhart, do not know her well, and do not consider her to be a friend at all, let alone my best friend. This directly refutes the plaintiff's allegations that Lorianne Barnhart was not only a channel supporter, but kind of a ride or die or bulldog of KJ's, that she would do things on KJ's behalf, and that she supported the channel as a paying member, and that she lives in the state of Washington. There's also a supplemental request for judicial notice from the defense saying, but wait, Your Honor, there's more shit we would like the court to take note of. Just a few days later, on January 9th, 2021, the plaintiffs filed their request for leave to file a surreply. The surreply attached being a rebuttal back to what defense said in their reply to plaintiff's opposition. So it's like, but wait, there's a little bit more. They shouldn't have brought these things up. That was the surreply. Then, on November 13th, 2021, the plaintiffs filed an additional precipe to supplement. But wait, there's more shit. Remember the precipe. But wait, there's more. To supplement their opposition to the motion to dismiss. And that January 13th filing was the Lorianne Declaration heard around the world. When I summarized that declaration as tell Cersei it was me. It seemed that this was prompted by a video that KJ had done and by her statements that she does not consider her to be a friend at all. The Lorianne Declaration, Lorianne states that she not only was friendly with KJ, but also had been asked to do things, including mass flagging channels on YouTube, including defending her on social media, including relaying messages, and stating that she was essentially an agent of KJ working in the state of Washington. This again goes from plaintiff's perspective to jurisdiction. Now, Lorianne also went into the fact in that declaration that she felt pressured by KJ's attorney, Brown, to file declarations for him, that those declarations she did not believe were accurate. And the reason I bring that up is because it sets off a avalanche of shit that happens next. On January 17th and 18th, Twitter popped off with people being threatened, people being mentioned, accounts that were going up and down, populating, adding people, death threats. Yes, I'm serious, death threats. All kinds of wildness happened on Twitter on January 17th and 18th. On January 18th, the defense filed a motion for a status conference in this case, which essentially is saying to the court, help, stuff's happening. Mom, he's touching me. Stuff's happening. We need the court to intervene now, please. That was filed by the defense, including a third declaration from KJ and a second declaration from Brown, saying that plaintiff's counsel Saltsy was accusing KJ of hacking his accounts, accusing her of federal crimes, and stating that he was accusing Brown of other impropriety in those declarations and motions. On January 21st, the court issued a minute order. This is a quick ruling or note from the court, and that minute order says, quote, "The court is in receipt of defendant's motion for status conference and email correspondence from counsel for both parties regarding the schedule for hearing that motion. The court hereby modifies the briefing schedule in its standing order as applied to this motion as follows. Plaintiffs shall file a response no later than January 27th, 2021. Defendants may file a reply no later than January 29th, 2021. So the court shortened the time to respond with regard to the request or the motion for a status conference. Again, that is the motion asking the court to set a conference for the attorneys to get together and kind of vent to the court, if you will. On January 22nd, 2021, the defense got into the Precipe game of, but wait, there's more. Let us tell you about it. And filed a Precipe with a third declaration from Brown. This one was 221 pages long. It included all the back and forth emails between Brown and Lorianne, Twitter screenshots, and asserts, quote, almost every material assertion of fact set forth in the Lorianne Declaration is demonstrably false. The defense came out blazing against the Lorianne Declaration, saying that she had completely changed her story and that therefore her declaration is not to be relied on by the court. On January 26th, the court issued another minute order stating, quote, defendant's counsel has contacted the court by email indicating the plaintiff's counsel would like an opportunity to suggest an alternative to the motion to seal that defendants are contemplating filing. Plaintiff's counsel may file a proposed alternative, if any, by close of business January 26th. This is the first time we heard that the defense was seeking to file something under seal. Under seal means essentially for the court's eyes only. The parties in the court will see it, but it will not be publicly available, and it will be sealed so that it cannot be publicly available. On January 26th, plaintiffs filed a proposed alternative, which essentially asked the court to review it in camera or just in chambers and make a decision then, so that if the court denied the motion to seal, that the information filed would not become automatically publicly available. The very next day, on January 27th, the plaintiffs responded to the defense motion for status conference. The plaintiff's motion basically said, Your Honor, a lot of shit has gone down. We need to tell you about it. That motion includes 3 declarations, one from Saltsy, which was his third in the case, one from Elena Levine, another attorney at Saltsy's firm, and the Nat Declaration. These declarations laid out a series of threats, including threats against people's lives, threats against people's children on Twitter and via email. It sets up a whole chart of statements made by KJ, including statements made in a video that plaintiffs say encourage her supporters to go ahead and defend her, to have fun, and basically have at you when it comes to the internet harassment, according to plaintiffs. The Nat Declaration lays out a very long series of Twitter threats, emails, conversations, or one purported conversation with KJ. And over 78 pages, she also discusses some very personal information with regard to how difficult the threats she received online were for her. Then, on January 29th, the court issued another minute order. The minute order states, quote, "The court has received plaintiffs' proposed alternative to filing records under seal, in which plaintiffs express concern that, quote, should defense counsel file a motion to seal said documents and fail to meet the high burden imposed by local rules as to the sealing of documents, the contents of said documents containing such private information about a third-party witness would automatically become public." Plaintiffs suggest as an alternative to an in-camera review of the material that both parties agree should not be made public. The court declines to review unfiled material in camera, finding that plaintiffs' concerns can be addressed by the filing of a joint motion to seal that includes a stipulation that, in the event the material not meet the criteria for sealing under Local Rule 5G, the documents be withdrawn rather than filed publicly. The court goes on to cite Local Rule 5G62, and then the court states that if the motion to seal is denied, the parties may propose alternatives to filing at that time. This is the court essentially telling the parties to file a stipulation, meaning the two parties agree that if the motion to seal is denied, the document's not filed, and then they go back to the court and discuss how to present that information to the court without it being presented to the public. Quite late in the evening on January 29th, 2021, the defendants filed a reply to plaintiff's response for defendant's motion for status conference, including a declaration from Mr. Brown, his fourth now, that was 309 pages long. A lot of that 309 pages is a complete download of opposing counsel Saltsy's Twitter feed. It also included things about me and my YouTube channel. There's a video. Fascinating. On January 30th, the defense filed a Precipe, meaning they were asking to include more shit. And that was a declaration from KJ. This is the fifth declaration now. And it seems that that was done because the filing deadline was missed. And it looks like due to technical issues with the court's uploading website. Later in the day on January 30th, the motion to seal and the proposed order to seal and a sealed document were all submitted to the court by Brown. It seems that those motions to seal all go directly towards the Lorianne Declaration based on the contents of the document that are not under seal. What comes next in this case, you may be asking? Well, the court's going to have to decide if there's jurisdiction so this case can really get started, even though it feels like it's popped off quite spectacularly this far. The attorneys have been aggressive in their handling with one another. The accusations on both sides have been very large. There has been quite a lot of social media conversation about this case from, everyone, including a defendant in this case. And that has definitely fanned the flames, in my opinion. The next date is the first court date in this case, a February 2nd hearing on the motion for a status conference. Very likely that the court could just as easily say, yes, we need a status conference, hold it now, or yes, we need a status conference, here's a date. Or are you asking me to set a status conference and by that submitting to jurisdiction and then there's jurisdiction? We will see what the court says, and there will be another video on that. And that is our case brief for the Tati Westbrook KJ defamation lawsuit. If this case brief was helpful, let me know in the comments. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and I will make more case briefs on the cases that I am following here on my channel. You can find me all over social media at the Emily D. Baker. I am everybody's favorite legal commentator, and I will see you in the next one. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. So if you're ready to ride it on, head over to lawnerdshop.com, your place for all your Law Nerd needs: stickers, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and more coming soon. If you guys want to join the text, just textemily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube